Mechanics of Triangulation. How it works. Welcome back. I'm Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and this is the Family Roles series inside School of Soul. In today's video, we're breaking down the inner mechanics of one of the most divisive tools used in narcissistic family systems, triangulation. If the introduction helped you identify that triangulation was present in your family, this video is going to show you exactly how it worked down to the language, the manipulation, and the emotional setup that kept you confused for so long. Triangulation doesn't function through direct confrontation. It survives through subtlety. And it's shockingly effective because the person causing the damage rarely looks like the source. What they do instead is position everyone else as unstable, difficult, dramatic, or ungrateful, while they orchestrate the division behind the scenes. Let's start with one of the most common tactics: gossip as a weapon. The manipulator doesn't just make casual comments, they plant seeds. One child is told something damaging or shaming about their sibling, often framed as concern. "I don't know what's going on with her lately, but I'm really worried." Or, "Your brother said some things I probably shouldn't repeat, but you need to be careful around him." These comments aren't just observations, they're emotional wedges. They distort perception, they create suspicion, and most importantly, they block direct conversation. The more one sibling mistrusts the other, the more they depend on the parent for information, interpretation, and emotional validation. The manipulator becomes the filter for every relationship in the family. Next is the loyalty test. Children in narcissistic systems quickly learn that love is earned, not given. And the price of admission is loyalty to the manipulator. That means taking their side even when it hurts someone else. Children who try to stay neutral or reconcile with other family members are often punished emotionally. They may be called ungrateful, disloyal, or accused of being manipulated themselves. On the other hand, those who reinforce the narrative, those who choose correctly, are rewarded. They're praised, given access, or positioned as the good child. This conditions you to equate safety with obedience, and over time, it erodes your ability to think independently. One of the most damaging parts of triangulation is this: the manipulator stays clean. They never deliver attacks directly. Instead, they operate through rumor, suggestion, and selective truth. They say things like, "Don't repeat this, but," or "I'm only telling you because I care." They create chaos, but they never get blamed. Everyone else looks reactive. Everyone else looks dramatic. Meanwhile, the manipulator looks calm, reasonable, and hurt. This is how they maintain power, by letting everyone else play out the chaos while they remain the emotional center. And then there's false victimhood. This is the fallback strategy every time the triangulation starts to fall apart. When you begin to see the manipulation for what it is, the manipulator flips the script. Suddenly, they're the victim. They're misunderstood. They're the ones who were just trying to help. If you try to confront them, they say you're being disrespectful. If you withdraw, they say you've abandoned them. It's a closed loop that punishes you whether you stay silent or speak up. Here's what you need to understand. Triangulation isn't just about control, it's about image management. The manipulator doesn't want connection. They want control. And the more they can isolate you from others, the easier it is to manage your loyalty. That's why they keep people apart. That's why they encourage conflict behind closed doors. That's why everything gets rerouted through them instead of resolved directly. In a healthy family, if there's an issue between siblings, the goal is repair. In a triangulated family, the goal is power retention. And the only way to preserve that power is to ensure that no one else talks to each other without the manipulator in the middle. These dynamics don't just affect your childhood. They follow you into adulthood. If you were triangulated growing up, you may now find it difficult to trust others, form healthy bonds, or speak your truth without fear of punishment. You may have been set up to fail in your relationships, not because you're broken, but because you were taught to survive in a system that only functioned through silence, secrecy, and side-taking. So what do we do with this? First, we name it. That's what this video is doing. Second, we stop reacting to the bait. And third, we begin rebuilding direct, honest, and unfiltered communication with those we were separated from. Because once you remove the manipulator from the center, the whole triangle falls apart.